Ah, Iracing rookies. A place where rammers rejoice and refunds are considered as often as the 1x's pop up on screen. Iracing rookies. It can be a huge drag to work your way out of sim racing's most notoriously brilliant and frankly traumatic licenses. But eventually you will be free of sim racing purgatory, and I think these tips for getting faster, safer and more consistent on track will help you a lot. Wait, please don't click off yet. I know you've heard it 100 times before, but if you pay attention here, your pace will increase nearly effortlessly. I'm sure you already know to go from the outside of the track to the inside and then back to the outside again. But let's talk about turning in the right place. Personally, I like to do 1 or 2, if I'm patient enough, slow laps of a track when I'm unfamiliar with the car and track combo for that week's race. This may seem like a waste of time to start with, but it will help you gauge how much space there is on the track for you to use, as well as to find a good point to turn in and brake into each corner. This point will vary from corner to corner depending on the tightness and what's waiting for you after you get around the corner. If the turn is a 180-degree hairpin like this one, you'll want to turn in late so that you get a better exit. This is especially true when there is a straight right after the corner. For less tight corners, such as a 90-degree right or left-hander, you can turn earlier so that you carry as much speed as possible. In a really backwards and confusing way, how you slow down can make you go faster. Yeah, I know, but just hear me out. If you have experience in other sim racing titles, you might be familiar with trail braking. This is a more advanced sim racing technique, so if you can do it, apply it to what I'm about to say, and if not, don't worry, you're not missing out on too much. Essentially, the tip here is that you can brake later than you think, especially if you race in the MX-5 series. In pretty much every car available when you're a rookie, you can brake hard and fast without having to worry about locking up. This means that you can really push when you brake to the latest possible point to get away with it, and even some gained time. There is no real technique to practice for this other than channeling your inner Daniel Ricciardo, preferably in a practice session. This is for those of you who have what I call Mazepinitis. Don't worry, it can be cured. Here's how. If you find yourself spinning a lot, then it is likely for one of 2 reasons. If you're accelerating too early, or maybe just not slowing down enough. You'll probably often find yourself in a staring contest with the guy you're meant to be racing, or not spinning at all, just losing time. The way to counter this is to just chillax, man. Take it easy with how early you get on the throttle and try to brake earlier and or harder. After just a few laps, you'll start to get the muscle memory of how much power the car can handle at different points in the track. Just like the tip for braking, I would advise you do a few slow laps of the new car and track when you see that you're going to race them. And nail your throttle inputs on every corner and maximise your pace as well as chances of winning. This is all important because if you're spinning less and getting into fewer incidents,
just an incident,
your safety rating will naturally increase, which is of course the best way to leave rookies. You have to leave the space.
All the time you have to leave the space.
I get it. You want to show the guy in front of you that you're a better driver than them. But if you go for a silly move that ends in a DNF for both of you, you're going to look like an idiot, and definitely not going to make it into D-Class anytime soon. That's why it's important to know when to push and go for an overtake, or whether to just wait it out and assess the leader's driving. Being behind a car doesn't always mean that you're slower than them, and if you can keep a cool head and stay close to them, you'll be putting on a lot of pressure. And in rookies, most drivers will get flustered and make a mistake, allowing you to cruise by with no SR penalties and a free position. You have to be careful though, as the other drivers will also be doing this on you. So in some, not all situations, it can actually benefit your race a lot to just let the car behind pass. You need to be able to keep up, because once they're in front, they'll be the ones with the pressure on, and you can force a mistake that will end with a significant gap between the two of you. This is a very effective way to get good results and have a great time racing, without a huge number of penalty points weighing down your progress. Once you know all of the techniques, tips and tricks that we've gone over in this video, you should be much faster in most of the series that you race, but pace alone won't get you promoted, unless you're George Russell that is. What this newfound speed will help you with is getting away from the mid to lower end of the timesheet, which means you're racing with more experienced drivers who aren't going to go for the gaps that exist and the ones that don't. Being away from this chaos will put you in a much safer environment where you'll be able to happily drive along, gaining SR all the way, whilst leaving behind anyone who could be a danger to your race. Eventually, this will all add up, and you'll be rewarded for your hard work and dedication to avoiding Turn 1 pileups with a shiny new D license. Okay, so that's that. Armed with your new knowledge and skills, you should be free to race with the best there is in rookies, and then move up to D class and beyond. If you enjoyed this video or gained anything from it, then please subscribe, as this shows me that you like this content so I can make more of it and keep making a fool of myself in racing games. My name's been Albin, goodbye.